In this example, we'll examine an account growing with simple interest where a payment gets made, and that changes the principal that the interest is calculated upon. Let's say an initial principal of $800 was borrowed from a bank at 5% annual simple interest. 5 years after the money was borrowed, a partial payment of $600 was made. 10 years after the money was borrowed, how much remains owed on the loan account? When the partial payment is made, let the new account balance become the new principal. Alright, so we want to number our axes here. Alright, we're starting off with $800 in the account initially. That's the principal. I'm going to call it P1 though, because as the problem discussed, the principal is going to change. Let's now calculate the interest that's earned on that principal after a certain amount of time, 5 years. A represents the amount in the account. A of 0 is $800. That's the initial amount in the account. What we want to do now is we want to find A of 5 by adding A of 0 plus the interest that we had just calculated. That's going to give us 800 plus 200, which is $1,000. So on our graph, we want to go over 5 years and then up $200, take us to $1,000. And we want to have a nice steady increase in getting there. And we want to have a nice steady increase in getting there because it is simple interest. Next, we want to have a payment made of $600. So let's take that $1,000 and subtract the 600 to get us to 400. And we'll drop down on our graph. Let's say the payment happens instantaneously. Okay. Now we want to let that new principal be $400. So let P2 equal 400. Why? Because it's not fair to charge the person interest based on what they had borrowed a long time ago, 5 years ago. All right, so let's go ahead and do P2 equals 400. And now we'll calculate I2, which is P2 RT2. $400, 0.05 interest rate. And we're going to go from 5 years to 10 years, so that is a elapsed time of 5 years between here and our ending point for the loan. So that comes out to 100. And in order to get our final amount, we need this calculation. A of 10 equals A of 5 plus our new interest that we had just calculated. So it'll be 400 plus 100. That takes us to a final amount of 500. And if the person wanted to pay it off after 10 years, That's how much they would owe. There's our graph.